Good morning. It's the 4th of December. It's the 4th day of Flossmas. And this time last year, when I was doing Flossmas, I had a rather terrible tooth infection. Or an infection after I'd had my tooth removed. And today I've woken up with an ear infection. What is the universe trying to tell me? Look, so I've been out this morning to the doctors. God bless the NHS. I went, I got seen, I got a 5-day course of amoxicillin. That cost me £9.65 or something like that. Like every time I go and get a prescription, the charges go up. But, you know, I can't complain about that. There are worse places to live in the world and deal with that. But yeah, I just thought it was very ironic. We're back here again. I'm trying to be all merry and jolly, and that was my intent last year. And then you got like hamster face last year, and now you're getting Raggedy Helen because it's raining outside and I've just been rushing around. Go to the doctors, go to the pharmacy, go get some coffee. I'm just done. Let me take this before I forget. It's like the greyest that it's ever been this morning. So the sad lamp is holding on for dear life. If you saw my last video that I put up last night, you might have seen the gremlins that were in there. My MacBook decided that it was too full of storage stuff. So I had tried to film us putting up the tree yesterday, and it just stopped halfway through, and I wondered why. And then I was trying to export the stuff because it had already been 40 minutes of stuff. I was like, I can't wait a week. And then it couldn't go anywhere. Tried to do it to the iCloud. The iCloud only takes 5 gig, and this video was 3 gig. So it was like, you're gonna run out of space soon, you should sign up to this. I was like, I don't want to, I just want to save the video. And then it wasn't doing it in HD, so I had to put there's a little cheat code thing. There's probably a better way of doing it, but put this little thing at the beginning of your iMovie and it can export in HD. And I put it in once at the very start of doing FlossTube, and I haven't had to put it in again. But with everything, and then it crashed and everything went, and I didn't know if I'd lost everything, and it came back, so I had to put it back, but I didn't take it out before I exported it. So it was up for a couple of hours with this thing at the beginning just saying, use this clip at the beginning of your... Oh... You know, I tried to portray being all professional and, you know, pleasant to watch, but you know, you're getting the real deal. So I won't apologise for it. It's not really what I envisioned, but hey ho. Temperance. It's the card that I pulled today, which is, I think it's apt. Let me read you what they said. This card shows the need to control forces if harmony is to be achieved. We must be patient, self-controlled, and calm. The card also represents a strong ally or friend or possible reconciliation and the need to rest to maintain good health. We must be balanced, diplomatic, and exercise a moderation in our lives, especially when dealing with other people. There is a need for exchange, possibly of communication in a relationship. We must assess our feelings. Patience is something we must acquire, as restlessness and wasting of energy will leave us depleted. This is a card of regeneration. The drawing of this card can indicate a need for economies to be made, which can either be financial or emotional. Changes will occur which will be good for us, and we may recoup things we had previously thought lost to us. Others will be helpful to us, and we can find ourselves in a good partnership situation. I think it's pretty much apt. I'm not going to overexert myself today. I'm going to rest. Because tomorrow I have to go to the office. I've agreed to doing 2 half days at the office to help the sales team at the office because they're short-staffed. I don't know what help I can be. I'm just trying to keep my boundaries around it. So I will rest today. Hopefully the amoxicillin will kick in. I will keep up to date with painkillers to try and be the best that I can be for tomorrow. And I think that is the way to go today. Advent for today, number 4. That sound really hurts my ear. Sandy Bay. That's beautiful. Oh, that's far too much shadow. That's lovely. It's like a denim blue with a teeny bit of green, like sagey green hue, and then a wheat, I think. I like that. That's lovely. Don't have that one either. That's a good one. So that's my 4 so far. Yeah, I went to bed early last night because I was feeling crap, so I didn't do any stitching. Possibly do the same again tonight, so I don't know if there'll be any more to this day. Talk to you whenever. Bye. Good evening. It's still Monday. I've been stitching tonight. So I thought I'd just show you what I've been stitching on. So as part of this kind of touch the things that I haven't touched before my whip parade, I should probably jump on the bandwagon of, I can't remember who was doing it, like Stitch Finale 23. Oh man, Stitch Finale 23 by Leah Ravenga. I just don't post on Instagram. I should post more on Instagram. Maybe I can retroactively post. I've already done the stitching. Anyway, because I have a list of stuff that I need to touch, and between my model stitching, so it's not, I don't need to do a great deal on it. It's just kind of put some stitches in and make sure you've looked at it before your whip parade. So, first on my list was Arcadia, and I spoke about that and I showed you that. So then second on my list was Crosswinds Collection Chipping Sparrow Whisker Nest. This is one I had to restart because the fabric that I started on, I think it was my fault. I had incorrectly labeled it. So I'd realised it was supposed to be a 28 count and it was really coming out as like a 36 or even like a 35 count. It was weird. But the point of these is that there's a whole series and it's supposed to come out the size of the nest of that bird in real life, because there's a hummingbird one which is tiny. So anyway, I had to restart. And so with a biscuit nest, obviously there's a top and a bottom, and usually the bottom isn't heavily stitched, but because it's supposed to look like a nest, the entire thing is full coverage. So what's the top? This is the top. This is what I started. So this is the bottom of the nest. So this is all just like sticks and twigs and leaves and stuff. It's not particularly exciting. It's just going to be full coverage. But Girl with a Gavel stitches on Instagram. Well, Roz Clarkcraft, tagged me in a comment on Girl with a Gavel. Not sure of her name. Chloe. That Chloe had posted on Instagram saying that they were watching one of Roz's videos, because they were way behind, from like May. And Roz was talking about stuff that me and Roz were talking about. There was a general discussion about the use of symbols in cross stitch, and how for me and my brain, and now having been diagnosed autistic and going for my ADHD diagnosis, it's probably that, but at the time I didn't really understand it. My brain works differently, and this is an issue. When designers use very similar symbols in their patterns, and especially when it's not on Pattern Keeper or a digital thing where I can use like the highlight tool to show all of those stitches. When I'm reading like a paper pattern, those similar symbols can get like switched around in my brain. It's kind of like dyslexia if you mix up your B's and your D's, that kind of thing. And I was explaining to Roz at the time how I really appreciate it when designers really think about the symbols that they use deliberately, and deliberately don't use similar symbols. And I'm talking like the slashes, like a forward slash versus a backward slash. It's just like, by the time my brain goes to the pattern, to the key, to figure out what thread it is, to then pick a length of floss and go back to where I was stitching, I can't keep it in my brain. And then actually getting to stitch, if they use very close together, it all gets jumbled up. Anyway, so Chloe had started talking about that on their Instagram and saying it was a really good idea from Roz, and Roz kindly tagged me and said it was myself that had raised it with Roz in the first place. So Chloe designs patterns and said that she would take that on board. She'd never experienced that before, never thought about it before. So it was just really nice that someone listened to that idea, whoever it came from. I don't mind. But that a designer not experienced in that type of thing is making the conscious decision to make their patterns more accessible, which is amazing. And why I wanted to talk about it with the Biscore nest is it's kind of the opposite. It's the same problem, but it's kind of the opposite. And I think, I wanted to say because maybe it's an old pattern, but this is copyright 2018, so it's not that old. And I thought it might have been an old pattern because I'll show you that, like the finishing instructions or like detailed instructions are like hand drawn, and which is fine, but you don't really expect that from something so recently made. But anyway, I'll flash you this. So they're symbols, and the symbols are fine. Like one is a full square all coloured in, one is a square with a dot in the middle, which is fine, and one is a circle with half like the bottom half filled in, and then looking at the entire key, there's not too much trouble with it. But what I find odd about this pattern is, if you see from that quick, like there's blank spaces, but it's like a full coverage piece. So there's just the normal pattern as you would expect, and then just above the pattern it just says fill in blanks with 613. Like, why didn't you just give 613 a symbol? Because again, my funny brain, and please tell me if your brain is the same as my brain, I can't stitch those because they're not stitches. There's no symbol to like cross off. And yes, I could cross off blank spaces, but it's just a bit odd. So I don't really color complete. Like, I've used different colors here. I suppose you could. With this, it would be easy to do all of one colour and then all of the next colour, and then I would just leave 613 till the end, but now I have to leave 613 till the end. I don't really have a choice with my brain. Like, me personally, I can't stitch those without a symbol. You know, I know it would be possible for somebody else. I know that, but it's just a bit strange. Like, if all of the blanks are going to be one colour, why not give that a symbol? And they don't have it. The symbol is not, the colour is not listed on that chart, on the key here. So I don't think it's anywhere else. No, because I'm looking at the back here. That's like the little fob, and there's another key, but that, so it's this fob that's here. Ooh. It uses the same symbols as the nest, but for different, they correspond to a different thread number colour. So even within the same pattern pack, there's no consistency. And so 613 isn't listed. I'm having a look now because I'm doubting myself. No, that's the one that things. Lots of instructions, lots of written instructions on how to construct a biscornu, which is great because I've not done one. Instructions for making tassels for the scissor fob. For cording. But yeah. That's like the key that you would see like on the back of the chart in the shop. And 613 isn't listed in that. It's not as if it's used in a different place. And in that part of the pattern, it's just, we can't use that symbol, but stitch the blank with 613. It's just very strange. And it just, how Chloe was talking about it, and is, you know, doing stuff to make their patterns more accessible. It just shows you how, just little things. Nevertheless, I'll still be stitching it. I just have to hold that in my brain. And I think when I kitted it up, I started stitching and then I didn't have 613, and I was like, why don't I have 613? Because it's not listed in the key. Anyway, my My next thing that I wanted to touch was my nutmeg gingerbread house. This is a kit that I got from the Knitting and Stitching show last year. Not this one, just gone, like the one before. Maybe even the one before that. Can't remember. And I had a little start on it, but I filled in some more. So this is 18 count Ada with the kit floss. Lots of detailed instructions on this one as well. So maybe I chose unwisely for doing this, but I got some good stitching put in, and also it's just a paper pattern, so I counted all the stitches on the paper pattern and then counted what I'd done for Notion. So now I'm about 12% done on this, which 12% isn't a lot, but it's a big chunky piece. Even though it's tiny, it's like full coverage stitching, and you got so many elements, and then I'll have to put it together at the end, which is a lot. So yeah, haven't done any model stitching tonight. I think I'm gonna go to bed now. My ear is feeling a little better. The pain, it's not as painful, but I am just keeping up to date on my painkillers, and I've had my 3 antibiotics for today, so hopefully I'll be okay. I'm gonna go to bed and have an early night because I've got to get up early and actually go into the office in the morning. I really don't want to. I'm gonna put on my big girl pants and do that, and then I'm only staying until about lunch, and then I'm gonna leave and go down to the Innocent Bones studio and pick up my order for me and Megan, and have a look what other goodies Grace has got in the shop, because it's just a beautiful shop that she's got down there. And then I'll come home and try and recuperate for going in again on Wednesday. But that's all I've committed myself to do, because that's too much. It's really highlighted to me, having been diagnosed, how bad it was for me to work in an office 40 hours a week. And I'm very lucky to have a really supportive boss, and not that it was the reason for me working from home in the first place. It was kind of because of Anna and childcare and everything, but actually it's been really good for my mental health to be working from home. And I know that going in is going to be draining, and I've told my boss that. I said, I can come in and help, but I've only got so much to give. Like, I can't burn out on this, because it's not even my job that I'm helping with. I'm helping a different department, so I don't want my work to suffer. I have to put in those boundaries, and there's other people that can help. It's not just me. I'm not going to put that on myself. Past Helen would definitely burn out on it, and I'm not going to do that. So I will see you in the morning, probably before I go out to work, to do an advent and pep myself up for the day. I will speak to you in the morning. Bye. Hello all. It's Tuesday the 5th of December. It's late. I didn't do my filming this morning before I went to the office because So I'm doing it now. The office was fine. I did work that I could to support the girls in the team, and it's hard because I'm very aware of my strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses being I can't talk to people on the telephone, especially when I don't know what I'm talking about. So I was like, absolutely not. Don't put me on the phones. Don't make me call people to chase people. So I did. I wrote out the table plans and the place cards for Christmas parties. I was quite happy with that. So I'm going in tomorrow again for a couple of hours, but I'm not sure what there's left that I can do. There might be stuff that I can do, but I'm just like, I don't know how helpful I can be. I think it's partly just to show face, to support the team that's struggling, and that we're all with them, even though we're not. It's difficult. Anyway, so I didn't have my tarot this morning to lead me in that sense, so I've just pulled, and I pulled the moon, and I'm just always very confused when I pull the moon. It's not one that's very intuitive to me. I never look at it and think, oh yeah, I know what that means. It always confuses me. So let's read. This card is a card of reflection, rest, and intuition. It is the card of the unconscious. We are becoming aware of our hidden depths. There will be uncertainty around us in our dealings with ourselves and with others. We may be subject to changing moods, which may or may not actually fall in with the changing cycles of the moon. It warns of trickery, double dealing, dishonesty, deception, false friends, and hidden dangers. However, it can also herald changes for good despite any insincerities or naivety associated with ourselves or others. We must learn to rely on ourselves, not worry, and be firm. The card sometimes has connections with show business ventures. The card traditionally links heaven, hell, and earth and can be seen as a crossroads with choices offered. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I need like a... Michelle, if you're watching, what's your little thing for the moon? If you've drawn the moon. I don't know if you've drawn the moon much. But like, you know, like your Seven of Swords is like, cut your losses and run. Like, what's your little one? Or anyone else? I resonate with Michelle's when she just says, this is the one line that explains this card to me. So yeah, that reason hasn't really helped my situation. Don't know. Anyway, happy thread. That's what we got. Hippiastrum? What on earth is that? Hippiastrum. Hypistrum? Don't know what that is. What is that? Genus of about 90 species and 600 hybrids. Perennial herbaceous and bulbous plants, native to tropical and subtropical regions of the Americas from Mexico south to Argentina and on some islands of the Caribbean. Popular gifts at Christmas, they're often commonly known as amaryllis. Okay. Fun. Nice colours. Like a dusty salmon and a orangey beige. Never heard of that. Very nice. Write that down. Moon. Pistry. Is that how you pronounce it? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong as well. Lord. Ears feeling a bit better, less pain. I just can't hear very well out of this ear, so I can't triangulate my sounds. My phone was ringing and I could hear it. I'm a millennial, so it's on vibrate. It's not on actual. It's not been on actual loud since 2010. I don't know. I could hear it buzzing and I just couldn't figure out which direction it was coming from. Weird. Went into town after I was in the office and did some Christmas shoppings. I've got some stuff for Anna's stocking and for Alex's stocking. So I really need to start wrapping. Yeah, I'm gonna have an early night tonight because I have to get up, take Anna to nursery and then go to the office, which I didn't do this morning. I just went to the office. So I had time to like gather my thoughts, and so it'll be a bit more stressful tomorrow, and then hopefully I can just get through it and come home. Oh, I might have to go to Grace Innocent Bones studio and pick up my order because I couldn't go today because the studio was closed. I don't really want to. Anyway, I'm just rabbiting now. I will see you tomorrow, probably again in the evening, and then I'll put up this next installment. Bye all. Good afternoon. It's Wednesday the 6th. I've been up at the office this morning. Popped in to Grace at Innocent Bones to pick up an order. Megan wanted the crafter kit, and I got myself this lovely pouch. The Moon, the Sun and Star tarot. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. So really good for a project bag. Oh. I thought it would just be for my tarot. It could be. I could put my book in and stuff. But yeah, that was nice. I've come home. I've wrapped some Christmas presents. That's exciting. Got some more stocking filler stuff for Anna being delivered, so I'm gonna have another round of wrapping. But it's all going good. All good so far. Oh, I haven't even shuffled my deck for today. What did we have yesterday? I had the moon. I still can't get that in my head. Moon. No, can't remember what it was to do. It wasn't too bad at the office today. I was thinking if it was something. No. So I have to go out and pick up Anna. So what for the rest of the day? Is that King of Swords? I just read that whole thing and I was just like, there is far too much gender going on here. Yeah. It's not a great book for for that kind of interpretation. It really pigeonholes it, so I don't really get much from that. Like if I'm taking it literally, I'm like who is this male in my life, when really it should be about me, but I can't relate to that. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difficulty when you've got interpretations such as that. Tarot is just like, it's hard sometimes. Michelle, help me out with your one word. Oh, I'm getting a refund from my energy. That's good. 6 today, 6th of Advent. What have we got? Dun, 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 dun. Jacaranda. These are in Bluey. That's my... I know these flowers, trees, plants. That's a lovely, lovely purple. Purpley pink. Beautiful. Don't have this one either. This is going very well so far. So, tarot, we got the King of Swords. Jacaranda. And I showed you my new pouch. Don't know if there's anything else. I had an early night last night, so I didn't do any stitching. If I do some stitching tonight, I'll try and show you. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Bye.